Hi. I hope that you are doing really, really, really well. After my favorite ASM artists video, I had a lot of people asking if I could do another kind of rambly, casual, hanging out video. I know that a lot of you are subscribed for the role plays, so don't worry. I have a ton of those planned coming up very soon. Like a ton. I have a list that is very daunting, very dauntingly long, but I'm excited about. But I also just want to do a variety, mix it up with some different kinds of videos. Because I know that, I really enjoy roleplays, but I also really enjoy, like, rambly videos that are kind of more casual and laid back. Those can be really relaxing. Kind of just depends what you're in the mood for, I guess. So, as you can probably tell from the title, this is going to be a Q&A and Patreon thank yous. And that idea obviously came from the wonderful, incomparable Chibi ASMR. She's great. She started the whole name trigger thing, and she does it really well. I love watching her name trigger videos. If I missed your question, just leave it in the comments, and I'll try my best to answer as many as I can. Our first question is from Ace2004. Actually, they have a bunch of questions. Their first one is, how did you find your personal style? And this question was posted on my favorite outfits video. So I'm gonna guess they're talking about, like, personal sense of fashion. It definitely mostly comes from my mom. We have very similar fashion sense. Kind of, like, very, very floral. Very feminine and flowy. But her style is definitely much more polished and refined, more professional. I like a lot of the same things that she likes, but I also like more, I don't know if grungy is the right word for it, kind of more casual. Like, there's a lot of clothes that I like that she says make me look like a stoner, and she hates. So there's some overlap between our styles, but I tend to like a lot of things that are more rough around the edges. I don't know, there's got to be a word for it, but I'm not sure. I guess just more casual. She's kind of just a bit more classy. Yeah. So she's definitely, I think, the number one place my style comes from. Have you ever reached a very low point in your life? Definitely. I think everybody has. I don't think it'd be very relaxing to talk about, though, so I'll just leave it at yeah. What kind of music do you like? I guess when I'm listening to stuff on iTunes or Spotify, in the little genre section, it always says alternative, but I feel like alternative can mean so many different things. Indie rock, kind of, I guess. I really like, Rainbow Kitten Surprise is my favorite. I love Fleetwood Mac, Glass Animals, Portugal the Man, Young the Giant. There's so many. I'm so bad at thinking about stuff like this off the top of my head. I should have prepared. I also really like some, like, more mainstream pop. I really like Lorde and Beyonce. But definitely Ben Howard. Ben Howard was my favorite for a long time. And Jessy Stewart is my new favorite. I love listening to music where the singer sounds so emotional and passionate. And Jessy's story has some of the most passionate singing I've ever heard. I really love watching his YouTube videos where he is sitting in the forest or around a campfire with his friends, singing and playing his guitar. And like as he's singing, you can see his jugular vein just like bulging because every single word he sings, it's like he's on his last breath. It's just so nice to listen to. His song Cold Beer is amazing. Yeah, he's great. I think he's definitely one of my favorites right now. What do you do in your free time? I'm really into art. I love drawing, painting, and sculpting, and makeup. I love doing makeup. I love hanging out with my dogs, spending time in the outdoors, like hiking, going to the beach. I feel like I'm writing a dating profile. Long walks on the beach. What do you like in people? Oh, that's a cool question. What do I like in people? Let's do some finger flutters while I think. Well, I guess the main one is that I love people who are very open-minded and not judgmental and treat everybody with an equal amount of respect. Like, it kind of creeps me out when somebody will treat people who they think can offer them something much better than they treat people who probably can't offer them anything. I probably worded that terribly. I hope you know what I'm saying. Like, when I find myself being just so amazed by and having like a lot of respect for a person is always when it's somebody who is truly, genuinely interested in all people and has respect for all people and is very eager to hear everyone's story and understand their perspective and where they're coming from. Like, there's some quote, and I'm not going to be able to remember the wording or who said it, but it's something along the lines of every single person in the world knows something that you don't, or probably knows many things that you don't. Everyone. You will never ever meet anyone who doesn't know something that you don't. I hope I'm saying that right. Everybody just comes from such a unique background and perspective, and I love when people treat people according to that perspective, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so those are all of Ace 2004's questions. Thank you for asking. Ace 2004. Brittney, can you show us a picture of you with your buzz cut? Your hair is honestly goals right now, but I would love to see how you looked with short hair. Thank you so much, Brittney. I'll show some pictures over here. So, I was born with blonde hair. I'm going to take you through my hair journey. I was born with like platinum blonde hair. As I got older, it turned darker and darker, and it was completely brown by the time I was in middle school. And then throughout middle school and high school, I dyed it blonde. So for the majority of my life, I had long, dyed blonde hair, wavy. I got sick of having it long, because it was just always getting in my face and tangly, and so I got a pixie cut, which I loved, because I didn't have to worry about brushing it, I didn't have to worry about it getting in my face. And then after I got a pixie cut, I dyed it pink. I think I was 15 or 16 years old when I dyed it pink. Then I buzzed it all off. But I loved having a buzz cut because my head was so soft. It was like peach fuzz. And again, I didn't have to worry about brushing it or getting in my face. And at the time, I was on an ocean swim team. So I was swimming from, I believe, 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. every day. maybe about chin length on Bob. I dyed it blonde again. And I kept dyeing it blonde until it grew back out to this length about. And then almost exactly a year ago, I'm pretty sure, I dyed it red. And now I've been dyeing it red for the past year. And I love it. And I'm not going to stop dyeing it red anytime soon, I don't think. Because dyeing it blonde was such a hassle. Bleach is very damaging. It stings my scalp. And since my natural hair is dark brown, when my hair is blonde, if the dark brown starts to come in, you can really see it right away. So I'd have to re-dye the roots every few weeks. But with red, the brown just kind of blends in. I don't have to re-dye it all that often. And red is just fun. I like it a lot. I like how in the sunlight it looks like it's on fire. Like indoors it can kind of just look like a reddish brown, but then in the sunlight it just glows red, and it's just a fun color. I really like it. So that's my hair journey so far. Who knows what I'll do next. Next question is from Karuo 2. Hey, I'm a huge fantasy nerd, so I love your tavern and Willow Witch roleplays. You have so many cool details for immersion and depth, like the plants, jars, candles, the map, potions, on and on and on and on and on. They're all very well done. Thank you so much. So then they have a few questions. The first one is, did you collect or make all the props for your videos? I've been making videos on my main channel for about 8 years, so I've been collecting props for a very long time. I have a closet that's just completely full of props. Completely full of props. That is a mess. It's scary. I need to reorganize it. But, yeah. I've just collected them over the years. What's the super cool swirly liquid in the potions? It is mixed up different colors of NYX Pearl Pigment eyeshadows with water. So it's mostly water. It's about 98% water, I'd say. And then just a couple of dashes of different colors of the pigment eyeshadow. Their next question is, did you make up all those effects on the spot? No, I wish I was that good at improv. I spent a long time figuring that all out before filming. Typed it all up, printed it out, taped the pages to my tripod right below my camera. So as I was talking, I was just kind of glancing down and reminding myself what to talk about. Is the world based on something, or is it your own homebrew setting? It was probably inspired by a lot of different things. Like, sorry, I feel like I'm being really loud. Harry Potter, probably, and Narnia. I used to love the Spiderwick Chronicles. That was my favorite series when I was younger. Josh Sobel says, I got a serious Q&A question. You're in a bar, and some group is talking shit about ASMR, and you decide to pick a fight. He knows me very well. Who are 3 ASMR artists you get to pick that'll have your back? Okay, I guess this depends. Are we talking like a physical fight, or like a verbal debate kind of a fight? Because if it's a physical fight, Fred's voice, obviously. If it's like a verbal fight, I think the only one I would need would be Maria, Gentle Whispering, because she's such a sweetheart. She would just de-escalate the situation immediately. Who's gonna want to argue with her? She's adorable. I think if Maria enters the situation, it's all over. It's all gonna be hugs and giggles from then on out. Thank you, Eileen. Oh, come on, Eileen. Practice, I guess. I really sucked at first. I started when I was, I think, 10 or 11. Because I saw Michelle Phan on YouTube, and I thought she was the coolest person ever. And I loved her character makeup looks, like her vampire and her Barbie. I always loved playing dress up, so I thought that looked like so much fun. So I made my own god-awful channel, trying to be like Michelle Phan and failing epically. But I was having so much fun that I just kept at it for a really long time, and eventually somehow got better just with practice. Yeah. Colby Elliott asks, who inspires you to be the best you can be? Definitely my mom. She is extremely intelligent and hardworking, and makes me feel bad about myself, but in a good way. In like an inspiring, I need to get my shit together kind of a way. She's awesome. Samuel Hershey asks, what is your favorite animal? Elephants. Easily. Isaac Nuunu asks, I have a lot of questions. Okay, Nuunu has a lot of questions. First one, how old are you? I'm 18. No, I'm lying to you. I'm 19. I turned 19 last summer, but for some reason, I keep forgetting. Yeah, I'm 19. What's your favorite color and why? My favorite colors are red. And why is that when I was little, my favorite book was Red is Best. And that just completely sold me on the idea of the color red and its bestedness. Yeah. Favorite movie at the time? Howl's Moving Castle is one of those movies that I can watch again and again and again and again and again without getting sick of. Which is saying a lot because I normally hate watching movies again and again. Mad Max Fury Road is another one I can watch again and again and again. And both of those for similar reasons. I just visually find them so incredibly, insanely beautiful and hypnotizing. Like I just can't take my eyes off the screen. Which is funny because those are very different movies. But they both just completely hypnotize me. I also love Big Fish. And I love Wes Anderson. Yeah. What is your goal in life at the time? Oh God. At this point, just to pass all my classes. I hate thinking about my future at the moment. It's daunting. So I'm just taking it one day at a time. Just my goal in life at the moment is to just finish my political science paper. That's it. My world does not exist beyond that for now. Do you like apples? I do. Honeycrisp are my favorite. If you do, can you describe how you eat it? Actually, I had a friend who would eat apples whole. I don't mean like in one bite, like I mean she would eat the stem and the core and everything. Yeah. Have you met fans in real life? If you have, what is it like to meet them? Fans, that's so weird. I have not met anybody who watches my ASMR channel, but I have met people who watch my makeup channel, and they have all been really, really nice. How many countries have you been in? I think 3. Pretty sure. What's your height? I am 5'4". Which is sad. I've always wanted to be tall, but I think it's too late for me. It's just not I got my mom's height. I wish I got my dad's height, but no. My sister is tall, and she really wants to be short, and I'm short and really want to be tall. I wish we could switch heights. Brittney asks, tell us about a childhood memory that makes you really nostalgic. These are the thinking flutter fingers. Childhood memory that makes me really nostalgic. I really clearly remember my 5th birthday. My mom and dad packed me a picnic, and we went to the park by our house. And we went to the top of this grassy hill and laid down a blanket and had a picnic with watermelon. I remember it was a really, really good watermelon. No, not mushy at all. Perfect, crisp watermelon. And ran around and played on the playground. And another one of my favorite memories is Easter when I was little. My dad would take this like little hole punch that would punch out Easter bunny little shaped pieces of paper, and he would take a piece of paper and clip all over the kitchen floor. So the kitchen floor would be covered in hundreds of little paper bunnies, and I thought it was the coolest thing in the world. My parents always made holidays really special when I was little. So a lot of my favorite memories are of birthdays and holidays and stuff like that. Brittney's other question was, what is your favorite cereal? And she says this is for science. Probably Lucky Charms. I don't really eat them. Like, I don't really eat them for breakfast because it's so sugary, they probably give me a headache. But yeah, Lucky Charms are definitely my favorite. Hannah asks, do you like Harry Potter? If so, what house do you belong to? I'm so sorry if you don't like Millis house. I do like Harry Potter. I'm a Hufflepuff. You probably could have guessed that. Tom asks, is there a fictional world you would love to live in? If so, which one? And how many Shrek DVDs do you own? Okay, first of all, I'm extremely ashamed to say I own exactly 0 Shrek DVDs. I know. Please don't unsubscribe, I'm sorry. Fictional world I would love to live in. Harry Potter is the first one that comes to mind. But I don't know, Harry Potter world seems like it could be a bit stressful. I would love to live in a Hayao Miyazaki film, like Alice Moving Castle, or Kiki's Delivery Service. Evan asks, if your life was a sitcom, what would it be called, and what would be the running joke? I love this question. If my life was a sitcom, what would it be called? I think it would be called Aaron Just Stop Talking. And the running joke would be that when I get nervous, I just don't shut up. I just can't. I talk really fast and just can't stop. So I end up getting myself into awkward situations and just dig myself into a deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper hole. Because I can't stop talking. So yeah. It would definitely be one of those sitcoms that sometimes you just can't bear to watch because the secondhand embarrassment is too severe. It's just a running joke among me and my friends that I just consistently extremely unnecessarily awkward situations. Yeah, I would tell you about some of them, but like I said, the secondhand embarrassment, I don't think it'd be relaxing. Istvan, I'm sorry. Who was your favorite The Office character? Michael Scott or Dwight? Dwight, you ignorant slut, is probably my most used, like, phrase. Or not my most used phrase. I mean, like, my most used phrase from The Office. That would be pretty ridiculous if that was just period, like, my most used phrase in daily life all the time. Eva says, I get the impression that you're someone who likes to read. What are some of your favorite books? The Book Thief is one of my favorites. Harry Potter. A Series of Unfortunate Events. Flowers for Algernon. Blink. I loved Blink. Those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. There's probably a lot that I'm not thinking of. Bob asks, do you always watch ASMR videos, or do you ever just close your eyes and listen to them? I always watch them. I'm definitely a very visual person, and all of my favorite triggers are visual triggers, like hand movements and touching the camera like that. And it actually makes me kind of anxious to listen to ASMR without seeing, so I definitely always watch it. Michael asks, cats or dogs? Definitely both. I have 2 cats and 3 dogs. Sam says, you're clearly a very talented artist. Thank you. So what artists outside of ASMR and makeup do you enjoy or find inspiration in? Wes Anderson is probably my favorite director or filmmaker. Gustav Klimt is my favorite painter. But most of the artists I really like aren't, like classic famous ones. They're artists who I follow on Instagram who are, a lot of them are people around my age who are doing really cool art that I love. I think my favorite artist on Instagram, or maybe just my favorite artist period, they're called Iris Compiant. And I just adore their art so much. They just create these whimsical, fantastical creatures, and they're in watercolor, and the style of their art is so organic and whimsical, and with each of their creatures they type up a description of what the creature is like and what it does and where it lives, and it just gives such amazing detail. It really brings it to life. So they're definitely my favorite. Mark asks, if you could have one item from the Willow Witch's inventory, which would you pick? Definitely the, I can't remember what it's called, but the one that takes away your stress and anxiety. For sure. Easily. Jan asks, what was the best day of your life, or what does your perfect day look like? I don't think there's a single day I could think of as the best day, but my perfect days are always the ones that I spend with my mom. She and I both really like to just kind of spontaneously go on little adventures, and sometimes on a weekend day where she's not busy, she'll just come in my room in the morning and be like, want to do something today? And we will just go drive somewhere. We'll go to the zoo or the mall or the park or the beach or go get brunch. and just walking around with her and talking and just enjoying the day. Those are always my favorite days by far. Yeah. And Jan's question had a second part. What is the weirdest dream you've ever had? This definitely isn't the weirdest. I can't think of what the weirdest would be, because I always wake up with this feeling of, oh, I definitely had a really weird dream, but I can't remember the specifics of what it is. But what I always remember, because it happens so much, I have this dream constantly and I've been having it for years, is that I'll be going about my day, just at school, talking to somebody, and the dream feels very realistic. Like, I could have sworn that it was real. And as I'm talking to them, all of a sudden, it's like I'm slowly getting filled with helium, and my feet slowly leave the ground, and I start floating up, and I'm like, shit, and I'm like, trying to fight my way back down to the ground, and I'm just slowly drifting up, and the person I'm talking to is like, what the hell? I get that one a lot. I don't know what it means, but it's unsettling. Riley asks, I know this is cliche, but what is your ideal superpower and what would you do with it? Probably being able to control time, like in the movie Click, but without Adam Sandler having any part of it. Yeah. And what would I do with it? I think I would pause time constantly. I don't think I would ever, like rewind or fast forward or anything for fear of like the butterfly effect, but I would pause time a lot. Grant asks, what inspires you to be wholly and truly yourself? That's definitely something I struggle with. I think most people do. But the one thing that helps me with that is the thought that if I am like just acting as this neutral, watered down, fake version of myself, where I'm just treading on eggshells trying to annoy the least amount of people possible, if that makes sense, like just being a very vanilla version of myself. So not really truly myself, but just kind of a watered down version. Trying not to step on anybody's toes or annoy anybody. Then probably nobody will dislike me, but nobody will really like me either. I won't really meet anybody who I have anything in common with. But if I am completely myself, there are going to be a lot of people who hate me, but then I'm also going to meet a lot of people who love me and who I will love back, and I will be able to meet people who I relate to, not on some watered down vanilla surfacey level, but actually on like a real genuine deep level. And that's something I definitely struggle with, because I think, obviously it's human nature to want everybody to like you. And I so admire people who can be so confident and so real in themselves and truly just don't seem to care what anybody thinks of them. Because I tend to care way too much. And that's something I really want to work on. Just being more genuine, I guess. Wayne asks if you're going to study an animal, Jane Goodall style. Which animal would you choose? Definitely elephants. Alright, that is all I have for the questions. So, like I said, if you have a question that I missed, I will try my best to answer in the comments. So now I'm going to do Story.